Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Dungeon Universalis. Now we're still in the middle of a quest trying to open this magic portal here. You might see the marker maybe. To do this, and behind there will be a, well, kind of medium powerful wizard, I guess, that we have to kill. And to find that marker, to open that door, we got to find 3 mechanisms, and they have to be activated at the same time. So we got to place a hero adjacent to one of each of them at the same time. Then we got to activate them. Then this thing will open, and from then on we have 7 turns until it closes again. And if somebody should be still beyond that magic gate when it closes, that person is killed. Now, we managed to find the first marker here, and one thing we should see is that the dark player is already down to only 3 points, so there is not a lot of options for him left here, and that is an advantage. He actually started with very little points, which is kind of weird. Usually you start with a number of points equal to the value points of the party. In this case, it was that number divided by 3. So I don't really understand that. I thought the reason might be that the dungeon is so small. So my basic assumption was we're gonna have maybe 2 or 3 rooms, and the dungeon, and therefore, because the dungeon is so small, yeah, he simply doesn't need that many points. But it's not terribly small until now. I mean, it's not huge, but we got quite a few rooms here, and well, we'll see. In addition to all that, there is no achievement point tracker, which means that basically time is not an issue until that thing opens, which also means that I can more or less move freely around the area. I don't have to care about safety zone and stuff like that, because obviously I could simply do it, but it's just moving around miniatures and without any real purpose. So I can simply place the guys in any way I want before I enter a new room, and that's exactly what we're gonna do here. So let's see, maybe I'm gonna do it like, I don't know, maybe like that or something. Yeah, I need a bit of room. I don't know, let's do it like this. And we want to have him within a range of 3 so that we can take advantage of his sharp senses, and then we're gonna open this door. Now let's see. If there's a trap. And there is indeed. Oh fuck, that's poisonous gas. That is really dangerous and very painful. Luckily for us, that costs 4 points. The guy only has 3. Now that is amazing. He's got to discard this card. That gives him 3 additional points though. So that gives him now a little more stuff to operate with again. So lucky for us here. And now we can open the door. Okay, so we found a new room, and you can see there's mold. So let's read the card, the special element. The section is covered in mold, and you can breathe a rarefied air. Whoever enters this hall for the first time must roll 1d6 and check the result in the following chart. Okay, so there can be, you can get poisoned basically or stunned if you enter there. So it doesn't say, in the contrast to this symbol here, it doesn't say that there may be no creatures in the room. So therefore we have to roll for creatures, I guess. And there are none. So yeah, we have the option now to enter the room, and we're gonna have to go here to yeah, to activate the mechanism. Now there is a problem I have. The scenario tells you of 3 mechanisms, and I can only find 2. And in this other part of the map, which I had to remove for now, there was nothing. There was just a room with the amphoras, and it was not hidden within the amphoras or something. That wasn't the case. I also searched that room, by the way, for secret doors. There was nothing. There was the well, and well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't check that, but I don't think there was even a possibility to search that. You can drink from the well, but this is not scenario specific. And then we have this room here and that room there, but there's no door in this room. So I'm not sure what that means. I'm gonna go through the scenario again, and hopefully we'll find a 3rd mechanism. Oh dear, it seems like there is a mistake in the app. If you see this here, there's basically nothing here, right? But if you go to the scenario book, let me get it out, and you can see here there is another room and another corridor back here. And yeah, there should be, that seems to be a, I don't know what that is. Number 2, that's a secret door. Okay, great. That's a little weird. So we should have searched for that thing, but I wonder what happens if you miss it. I have no idea what that means. I mean, okay, that would have been an option. If I would have played with a game master or so, I would have then probably searched other rooms for secret doors or corridors, but I think it is possible that you're not successful. And if that happens, I'm not sure how this will actually go on if you fail a perception test. I got no clue what that means. But okay, I will now, let's see if you can, you can, okay, now this is, so you can, I searched this room, yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't search this for a secret door, but maybe I should have considered that, because there is no... It kind of looks like there might be something here, right? So this is a bit odd. But okay, yeah, I missed that. So it's a little bit tricky, you know, if you... Yeah, okay, anyway, so I gotta go back. And I don't know, will I search the door? Will I assume I find it? I'm definitely going to roll for a trap. This is something you have to do when you search for secret doors. But what am I going to do if I miss? I don't know. I'll check. Maybe you don't even need to roll for a success if you search for secret doors. I got to check that. This is really strange. It seems like you actually have to... You have to roll. That's the eagle's eye. You get a +1 to perception rolls. And that means, I don't know. I mean, I assume if you do not find that door, you lose the scenario. I'm going to play it like this. If we don't find a secret door, we're not going to be open to... We're not going to be able to activate the magic portal, obviously. And then... that simply means that we've lost the scenario. So Okay, so we found that second portal. We're now going to move back to the other room, and well, I don't have to move back to do this, I guess. I'm simply going to roll a trap for now. I'm going to roll for a trap while searching, and then if I fail this search roll, I guess we can simply call this because, well, then we were not successful. And it's going to be hard, but there is a real chance we can do it. We still have this. On the other hand, well, let's see. First, let's roll for the trap. And there's no trap. So now we got to check the search roll. And I'm going to do it with a scout, with a dog. And I got my eagle eye, which helps. I got the sharp senses. So I basically need a 6. Wait a minute, is that true? No, I think I need a 7 to be successful. The dog, the eagle eye, the sharp senses. Yeah, that's a 7. And okay, I got my fortune. Now you could, of course, argue if you don't know that the secret door should be there, would you really spend a fortune? But in this case, I will do it. I will give me that advantage here. Okay, so we'll see. I need a 7 to find that door. That's important. And I did. I was lucky. So I found the secret door. Now I'm going to set up the other part of the map, basically. And I also have to keep this part also on the table, because eventually we're going to have to place the 3 guys to activate the mechanism there. Okay, so actually it's a little different than I thought. I thought that you can search a room for treasure, for example, only once per mission. And only before you found the main room. You cannot go back or something and then search the room. But it seems like you can actually search rooms for secret doors as many times as you want. At least the rulebook does not in any way forbid that. It doesn't say that it's possible, but with all the other restricted actions, it clearly points that out. But here, when it comes to secret doors, this is not the case. So I assume if I would have really had trust in the app, and there's always, of course, the possibility of a mistake or something. If I really would have believed in the app, or of course, if I would have played with a master, with a dark player, I would have then started to search all the rooms for secret doors, and that would have given the dark player the option to maybe play traps on me, and eventually I would have searched that corridor for a secret door, and then eventually I would have found that thing. But if you roll poorly, that process can go on for a really long time, and yeah, I don't know, it's a little questionable, but I don't know. Anyway, so we found our secret door. I think it would be interesting to come up with some, maybe the levels should be constructed in a way that they kind of give you a hint, and you still have to find the door, right? And there can still be traps, but usually whatever, I don't want to complain. Okay, so we found the secret door, but it still means we have to open the door now in a regular way. So that means we're going to roll a die and check again. There could be a trap at the door. And there is indeed. So let's draw the next trap card. And that is a pit. Well, I don't think this can be played here because... yeah, I think this is... I'm not sure. I think this is the symbol for room and that for corridor. But there is not the symbol for a door, which would be the center symbol. So therefore, I think we simply have to discard the card, and the character gets one additional point, or the dark player gets another point for discarding it. So yeah, you could not play that. And then we're going to open the door and... secret door. Oh. Oh, that's great. Oh, there we go. Explore section. Continue. And we find another corridor here. And that seems to be heavy terrain. Huh? Yeah, difficult terrain, rocky. So that means we have to... yeah, we can see here this is kind of a little bit of a special tile here. So that means we have to subtract 1 of movement. Actually, I'm not even sure. We might have to, maybe we can only, I think we even have to spend 2 points if we move into the area. And we also have this fancy door which opens now. That's the secret door. I think we will place like this. Okay, so first let's see if there are any creatures in there. Oh, is there? I think there was another door on the other side. Yeah, that is correct. There we go. And there we go. We do have indeed new creatures. And let's see. Enemy spotted. Wow. So we're going to see some real action again. And the character, the dark player, has 7 points. So he's not allowed to spend to play the super strong combinations. That costs, I think, about 8 points. But he can definitely play some serious stuff here. So let's see what we get. Enemy spotted table. I think we got to add 2, if I remember that right. Okay, that's 7. Yeah, that's exactly 7 points. So that means he's gonna 2 imps with improvised weapons, 2 imps with a short bow. Okay, I mean, I don't think that's terribly dangerous, to be honest. I thought the demon warrior with 2 imps and an improvised weapon was stronger. But okay, so he's gonna play these. No, that's not it. There's still a hellhound. I don't know how I missed that guy. Right, so also a hellhound. Okay, so there they are. There they are. We have the ranged fighters with the bows, short bow, I think. Yeah, they are standing here in front. Behind we have the guys with the improvised weapon, and then here at the back is the hellhound. Okay, so let's check what we have. We have, well, again, the underworld and the small skills. So underworld is basically, I think, an advantage for them if we play the green flame, because they are pretty much immune, or not immune. I think they take less damage. Yeah, from flaming attacks, exactly, 1 less die. And they're small, so that means they're harder to hit by shooting. The hellhound is fearsome, so we got to do a courage test when we attack him. He's invulnerable again, so we got to be only critical hits will hit. He's got the underworld thing, and he's a berserker, so that means when that skill gets activated, he immediately comes after us. He always attacks the closest enemy, and yeah, he goes berserk. If at the beginning of his turn he has line of sight to an enemy, he always will attack the closest enemy. He's got 2 attacks against the guy, and he's got to subtract -1 from his combat skill from then on, also when defending. Just like this guy does. Okay, so let's see. First we go into the initiative, and we can take advantage of our dog, and well, we have the ambush ability, so we are in a very good shape here. And they, well, the imps, they also have a perception of 1. Alright, so we win, very good, and now we can start that combat. So I guess the shooter will simply start the activation and will shoot this guy here. Got a -1 modifier because it's small, and I think this is it. And I'm going to do my fast shooting here. Oh boy, incredible. Totally awesome. So that means we got 6 damage dice. Wow, that was right in the head. Okay, let's see. It wasn't so good. So we do 3 damage. But still, I mean, this is... that was very, very good. And that means... Oh, that's actually it. He only has 3 life points, so he's dead. Awesome, that was good. And then we can try a second shot. Now we got to do, we got to subtract -2 because he's a little further away. So we get a -1 on distance here. And of course a -1 for the small size of the guy. That is still a hit, and again it's a critical hit. So this time 5 dice. And well, that is enough, even though we still have 1 left. Oh yeah, anyway, 3 hits. What a guy, what a shooter. She is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, perfect, absolutely amazing, perfect. Now let's see what we do. Okay, so that's interesting because this is difficult terrain, and these guys, they don't have the Pathfinder skill. That means as long as they hang out on this on this tile, they are slower, so they cannot reach me. So, you know, actually I think what I want to do is I'm simply going to move back here with the dwarf, and that's it for now. And then I'm going to bring her into position, and now she could have stayed here, and if she would have moved aside, then she would have had line of sight on this guy, and then she could have used the God Crush them. But you know, honestly, I think this is a little bit too risky. I don't really see that this is necessary. I might simply use the Green Flame, for example, and yeah, I think that should be fine. And she can then simply shoot the 2 other guys if she hits, but she can at least try. And then there's basically just the Hellhound left. So I think we are in a pretty good shape here, and I don't think that we're gonna need that super powerful but a little bit dangerous spell. So I'm gonna try the Green Flame, and so this, okay, yeah, so I think I'm I'm gonna attack this guy here. I mean, I could also use the brain. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna use the brain damage. I think that's fine. I think that is better because I probably can use the green flame later, maybe against the wizard. But remember, I can only cast spells twice per quest. So I might save that for later. So I'm going to use the brain damage because these suckers are not terribly intelligent. So yeah, let's go with that. And let's simply attack them. Okay, that is a hit. And that gives us... Oh, wait a minute. You know, until now we only spent 2 mana for that spell, so we should have now 7 left. And that means we had a critical too, so we can roll, let's see, 5d6. Holy crap, so that's 6. And they only have an intelligence of 3. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna make his brain explode now. Ah, look at that! Didn't work out. Well, I mean, we got still a ton of fortune, so I'm actually considering spending a fortune here. You know, it's probably not that important, but... Yeah, okay, so he's dead now. And, yeah. Okay, so we reduced them quite a bit after our first turn, and now it's their turn. And we're gonna roll, and we gotta roll twice for this monster ability roll. Okay, so no advantage for them here. Okay, so now they will activate, and I think the Hellhound activates first. So he cannot reach us because of the difficult terrain. Basically, you have to spend an additional movement point for every space. He's got a movement of 7, so we'll try to reach us anyway. And he goes already in Berserker mode. It's clearly set as soon as he is in line of sight. He goes berserk. So yeah, that is not necessary to his advantage. And we're gonna roll for the run roll. And yeah, I mean, he runs definitely enough. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. So he can move to here. He is not allowed to move any further. And I guess the same, because you cannot enter the melee range while running. And the same applies to the imp, I guess. So let's see why. Yeah, okay, he can run up to 8 spaces, so that's going to be the same. 2, 4, 6, 8. So they both end up here. And now they are in a perfect position for us. Shouldn't be too hard to kill them from here. This time I'm gonna start with the Magician, and I'm gonna do again the brain damage because the Hellhound is terribly stupid, so that is a perfect spell for him. Now let's see if we can do that. And that is a success. So we can roll 5 dice, and everything but a 1 will be a hit. A 1 is never a hit. So therefore, 5 dice, good chance we can at least wound him. Nah, not quite. Okay, anyway, so he's down to 2 life points. And Then let's see what she does. She can now move, and I want to move her out of the way here. So it's basically 1, 2, 3. Let's move it here. Okay, and now I'm gonna activate the scout, and I'm gonna start. You know, actually, I think I want to try to kill the Hellhound. He's pretty dangerous. So, no, it's not going to be easy. I'm going to need a critical attack. But, and that was not necessary if you do magic, right? Then this invulnerability is not interesting anymore. But now, I'm going to try to kill the Hellhound with the shooter. Wow. He's in a great shape. Okay, that should be enough, I guess. We only need to do 2 damage, but he has 4 now, because this time we have to roll against armor. Okay, so no problems here. That was just her first shot. So she gets another shot against the poor imp. Okay, there we go. That's a hit. Is that a hit? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. She has a 5. Yeah, that's a hit. So that means 4 damage. And we need a 3. Is that true? Yeah, that's correct. And actually we managed to kill this guy. So, I mean, what can I say? That was just amazing. I mean, I don't want to say they were terribly strong, but I mean, that was a party, or that was a group of enemies worth 7 points, right? And yeah, it was just, but you know, we used terrain to our advantage, and obviously the shooter was just in an amazing shape here. Okay, so let's move in now. We're gonna go bring this guy in first. We gotta remember that we have these. I mean, it's not that important, but because now time again doesn't really matter. But of course, we have to remember a little bit that there is the +1 movement cost. So, for example, the dwarf 1, 2, 3. So he's kind of stuck here basically now. Because I want to use him to search the bodies. So we got 4 dice, 6 dice. And we found, oh, look at that. We found 3 coins. And I think we also found an item. Just have to check it. But I think that 2 6s actually give you a... Is it written here? I'm not sure. Nah, it's not. Okay, so we found a random common object, and thematically that makes sense. We found the mushrooms of frenzy. Now, they can, if you're lucky, they can make you, well, you don't have to be terribly lucky, they can make you to a berserker. And so, you know, maybe the imps, maybe they had, it seems like they had some of these mushrooms and they feed their hellhounds. And in this way, they get the berserker skill. So we've learned something about these guys. And yeah, we're going to give that to the dwarf, I guess. Okay, cool. And then we're simply going to move on. And again, we're going to now we can ignore the time restrictions. Basically, I just did it for the searching. And we go there. And Do it like this. Okay, there we go, and that gives us now the, yeah, now that we're going to open the door. No? So of course we got to roll again for a trap, and there is one. Now the guy has 0 points, so he's not going to be able to play it. That would be an electric shock. He's got to discard it, but that gives him again 2 additional points. And now we can open the door. And let's see what we find. Okay, so we opened the door, and there is a mysterious mist in there. So let's get this. And by the way, it is not possible to spawn creatures. The section is covered in a dense mist. Whoever walks through or stays in a square with fog gets the condition stunned and will be regarded as being in heavy cover. In addition, the character who first enters the room must roll 1d6 to check the result in the following chart. It's a little odd because I'm not sure if this is actually what they want you to do. Here it says whoever enters the hall for the first time. In addition, the character who first enters the room. I don't know, man. I really have a... Is that really... You know, I wonder if not every character, when he enters the room for the first time, has to roll on that table. Or do they really mean that it only affects the character, the first character who enters the room? You could also say that the first character who enters the room has to roll for that thing, and then for the remainder of the game, this is the effect of the card. And maybe that makes actually the most sense to all other characters, right? Maybe that's... You know, actually, I think this is the way I want to play it with both of these cards. So the guy who enters the room first rolls on the table, and from then on, whenever someone enters there, that's the effect that the object has on the character. I think that makes also thematic quite a bit of sense. Okay, so we found the 3 mechanisms, one down here. The vermin that was in here, the snakes, are already killed, so we don't have to, that's not an issue here at all. The mold here, well, okay, that's not great. And the mist here. So what is the... Let me think about this a little bit. First of all, there's a simple question. What happens if we open this portal? Well, I guess, and I've already kind of seen that, there's a room behind there, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to find the underground or the sorcerer behind that. Now, usually in the main room, you have to, in addition to the boss, there will be an enemy spotted card. But because the guy only has 2 points, he's not going to be able to play that card, which is pretty cool. That gives us a big advantage because there will be only the sorcerer, and well, if he does not have any guards, there's a good chance we can kill him pretty easily. Okay, So that is one thing I wanted to point out. And now we got to think about how we exactly want to do that. So the rules say that the three mechanisms have to be activated exactly at the same time to open the gate, and you need to place a character or a hero, and that's already also kind of a tricky thing. The rules say this activation is an exploratory action. And it also says, therefore, heroes have to do this. But the elf clearly says that he can perform exploring actions. So I'm going to allow him to do it too, because, you know, I mean, you have to pay quite a bit of money for this guy, and he's also worth quite a few value points, and I think that's part of the payoff, that he can do these kind of actions. So therefore, I'm going to allow him to actually open one of the doors. So I think what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to move, wait a minute, how dangerous can this be? He can be poisoned, 3 damage dice, okay, that's a little bit risky. So maybe I want to heal this guy first. So you know what, I'm actually going to give him, no, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my first aid. I can do that twice. I'm going to use the first aid, and I'm going to heal that damage point. And now I'm going to send him in here, and he enters, and we're going to roll the die and see what the effect of the mist is. That's a 2. That's probably not that great. No, the mist has no effect. 2 to 3, the mist has no effect. Okay, cool. So, and, okay, let me see. Yeah, so technically we got to bring this guy. That's the thing. If we send him here alone, well, but he can move very slowly, always 2 steps, right? And then he doesn't leave his zone of influence, so he cannot trigger any traps. And then we're going to simply place him here, and we still have basically unlimited time. Things become interesting once we open this thing, because from then on we only have 7 turns left. Okay, so now my plan is, well, basically all of them move together in the big hall. I want the dog here to get the bonus for the initiative roll. I'm going to bring the scout here, and I'm going to bring, I think I want to bring the dwarf here. These are probably my elite. I mean, she is good in initiative, she's got a great bow, and he is my best fighter. Yeah, I think so. I mean, this guy can do, no, I think he is the best fighter, yeah. And I'm going to bring the magician or the sorceress here. And my plan is to run with her back into the hall. That should be fine. And this guy enters that room here, and we're going to roll for the effect. That's a 2, so also, oh no, that's not quite true. Character gets the condition stunned. So, well, fine. So I got to remember that, and then we can bring him in here. I mean, technically, you know, whatever, we can just wait until you can get rid of the condition. So we simply roll a die a couple of times, and then the condition is gone again. Yeah, I don't think that this... It's a little odd. I mean, I assume that this applies only the first time he enters the room. It's not quite clear if... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's stunned as long as he's in the room. This is not... We could... Nah. You know, it kind of makes sense. I don't know, man. This is tough. This is really not clear at all. How long? Usually when you get stunned, you are stunned, and then at the start of every turn you can roll a die and see if you can get rid of it. On a 4+ you will. This guy is, I think he's kind of tough or hardened or something, so that makes it even easier for him to get rid of it. Now, are there any special rules in this room that you get the condition, I don't know, whenever you are in the room or something like this? I don't know. It's not written on the card, so I guess not. And that means basically that I simply get the condition when I enter the room, and then I got a chance to get rid of it, and eventually this is going to happen, and because I have unlimited time, I can basically ignore this. This would be interesting if there would be any creatures in there and we would have a fight or something. But at that point, it simply doesn't matter. Okay, so, and now I guess we're ready to open that door. And you know what? I think I'm going to load this up at that point. That's a pretty good time to do it. So, to be honest, I do not expect a terribly hard fight or something. I think it's going to be fairly easy, but we'll see. So, yeah, hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.